Up next on God's Property Podcast.
But the first episode, the breakdown. Because that breakdown, see, some of us don't know when we're breaking down. We don't know when there's cracks. We don't know when, it's the last hit gonna knock us out. We don't know. It is something that is sneaky. It is sneaky.
Welcome to God's Property Podcast, where our property value, baby, it always goes up.
Hey, y'all. And welcome to God's Property Podcast. Welcome. This is, again, God's Property Podcast, where our property value always goes up. There's no depreciation value over here. Okay. So again, welcome. I'm going to kick myself if I say it one more time, but one more time for the road. Welcome to God's Property Podcast. So yeah, let's get into it. A lot of people have called, inboxed me, and then there's some people like me who were just nosy and just waiting for the first video to drop to see what all of this is about. What is God's property about? So yeah, this is for you too. So yeah, what is God's property? What is it about? So not to be super spiritual. Actually, yeah, let me be super spiritual. Yeah, to be super spiritual, God actually did drop this name into my spirit. It is a heavy name. It's a very, very heavy name. And so, yeah, I was just like, okay, you know what, God, we gonna do it. And so basically God's Property Podcast, it was just birthed out of an idea that all of us want to belong to somebody or something, someone, some institution. Like all of us wanted to be, in something, some clique, whether it's a fraternity or the Broadway kids or out of school. Because you know what? I'm going to rep my HBCU to the day I die. That's one thing I'm going to do. But we all want to belong and be in something, right? But the thing is, I feel like that feeling is something that God gave us from the beginning of time. He made us so that we can commune with him. And I think that feeling sometimes gets misplaced. And God's property, its aim is to make a marker where we can get back to our rightful place and being in communion with God and just living a life that is conscious and sober. And so that's why this idea came to me, and that's why it was birthed, because I just know that, especially with my experience in it, and I don't want to make a blanketed statement and speak for everyone, but everybody wants to be a part of something, whether it's a city, repping New York. I know people who rap New York. I don't even have a New York accent anymore, but rep it to the day they die. They're a New Yorker, so we all want to be a part of something. And I think that God's property will help all of us, including me, to really have this discussion and conversation about how in different aspects of our life, whether it be relationships, finances, career, church, whatever it is, how we can realign and really get back to the place we need to be with God. And so, yeah, that's God's property. And again, that is where our property value, baby, it always goes up. There's no depreciation over here. Okay. So the setup for God's property is basically that we have different series. So there's different series that's here. Each series is like a heading, and then there's subheadings underneath that. So it's like a major heading and then a subheading. So the first kind of major heading that we have. It is I actually have my iPad here because the way my brain is set up, I'm getting up there in age. So I'm just going to look down. So if you see me looking down, that's why. So the first series, it's called Demolish and Rebuild. So the whole thing with God's property, it's kind of paralleling, is that a word? It's a parallel to what happens with properties. So since this thought and this idea came to me, I started to kind of, dibble dabble and research and read up about property and how it works and all of that. And so I don't know everything, still researching, always will be a student. But so a lot of the topics are going to parallel that, and we will bring whatever's in the natural, in the spiritual, and, real life situations and talk about it that way. So the first series is titled Demolish and Rebuild. And underneath that series, there are a couple episodes. And so one of the episodes, well, all the episodes I'm really excited about, but the first episode, that one I'm really excited about. That one is called The Breakdown. Because that breakdown, see, some of us don't know when we're breaking down. We don't know when there's cracks. We don't know when, it's the last hit gonna knock us out. We don't know. And so that's the first episode. I'm really excited about that one because there's something in my career path that is called burnout. It is something that is sneaky. It is sneaky. So really excited about that. And then the next episode that we're talking about is called Ground Zero. So how does it look when you hit rock bottom? When you're at the bottom and just there, how does that look? How does that feel? All of that. And then the third episode in that series is called The Foundation, because it's time to rebuild, So I'm really excited about this first series. Gonna have a couple people that you may know, some you may not. And sometimes you'll just see me because, hello, it's Tonya's podcast. But yes, excited to be here and excited to share with you all. This is a conversation. This is an interactive discussion. And I'll be putting these podcasts out, but I want interaction. I want questions. I want you all to challenge me. I might cry because I'm a crier, but I want you all to challenge me, and I want you all to have a discussion with me about what it looks like in each episode and under each series. So yes, thank you for tuning in to this first conversation about what is God's property. And yes, follow me on all my social media platforms at Yaya Exists. Ding, that's me. God's Property Podcast is about to blow up, y'all. I hope y'all are ready. I hope some of y'all out there watching, I hope you're ready to be on the podcast. Because again, baby, the property value is always going up. There's no depreciation over here. Okay. So thank you. I love y'all. I really do. With the love of the Lord, with the love that he gives me, I want to extend to you all. So love you. If you have not heard that today, keep going, keep strong. It's not over until God says it's over. Okay. All right. Bye.
This has been another God's Property podcast. Remember, God already paid it all for you when he died on the cross.